I'm losing my mind just a little. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I just wanted to say thank you to such a rich community for meeting me in the middle. As an educator, I've been so passionate about what I do, and all the learning has been very excited. Huge reflector on so many things, on being representing all the students in my school since I've been teaching music. I went to the library and I found a beautiful series of books that I'm going to use. Talks about how to use your voice effectively. It talks about the different sounds and how to use those sounds for music and soundscapes. So I'm really excited to add that into my programming, but also on Teachers Pay Teachers is another avenue I know a lot of people explore, but I'm new to that, and my goal really for that is an outlet so that I can develop rich content on social emotional health and differentiated instruction, and being able to have something easy and ready to go so that teachers can access and has that reflective piece built into it, as well as some tools that you can modify and change according to your students' needs. So thank you for that inspiration as I'm moving forward in that, and also with the universal design and the look for is how that's been really helpful in terms of differentiating the content, the process, and the product, and how engagement is key, and looking at what are those class profiles that we design, and what are their learning profiles, and how can we what is the data telling us, and how do we need to move with this data, and that was a big thing that I used to always do, and since COVID I've lost some of my ways, so I'm really glad that that's something that is back, and also really glad that I'm able to do that with all my students in all my classes, so I can get a sense of what is best, and also looking at if they're not able to understand, how can I go into tier 2 and looking at other instructional strategies that I could provide them based on their learning profiles in order for them to feel successful. One of the biggest pieces that I took home from this course is the importance of self-advocacy and teaching them to understand how the brain works, what their strengths are, using their assets to help them through their challenges, but also really getting them involved in the planning of it so that they can tell you what it is that they need, and how that's a crazy skill. Transferable skill, and something I'm still slowly starting to learn, but one thing that I'm finding very powerful for my own children. So thank you for that learning, very grateful for that. The transition planning and the effective programming, it's just looking at it from the lens of the whole child, making sure that you've discussed with colleagues, you've looked at all the different ways of making them effective. So that change is really hard for a lot of people, and how can you best support that? What strategies would be effective to have? What's worked in the past? So really grateful for that. Another gratitude is all the resources. So what I'm doing currently is going back to each learning module and pulling out the links and the resources that we've shared amongst each other, and kind of using that to guide my further learning, but also spread that love for learning to everyone else. So I am asking if anyone's interested to kind of pop in on the podcast, because that's my way of moving forward and taking the learning and continuing to learn and grow and share that with everyone, really. And so I'm starting a podcast. I know it's crazy, and that's what the beautiful part of this too. And really it's just bite-sized snack bites of information, ways to be reflective and evolving in your practice. And I'm always open to building that network together and continuing this learning journey as well. So you can reach out to me at Love for Learning on Instagram. That's going to be all my handles. It's on Twitter, and it will be on my podcast as well. And it's I'm looking forward to areas that we need to focus on. I'm really blessed for all the research that has come my way. I'm currently I'm doing a segment on startup for the fall, classroom profiles, and look forwards for differentiated instruction. And then a lot of the work that came from that Thames Valley resource was phenomenal, and really looking at how the brain is impacted, what are the best conditions for learning, how can we build those relationships and connections. So that's sort of where the starting point is now. But would love to have any of you on there or share or pick your brains. So I'm just really grateful. And one of the big things I think for me has been the scary part, like, you know, of all the technology and using it. Like, here I am doing a podcast, I can't believe this, and even a video response to you guys. But it really has, I kind of laughed because I remember one of the first assignments, it was talking about infographics, and I was like, I thought I knew what it was. I went into, you know, Word document and posted things, and I looked back at other people's work and thought, oh my goodness, the power of exemplars. So then I quickly downloaded Canva, and it's been my amazing resource, and I'm learning all sorts of things each and every day, from, you know, finding edible templates that I can add to my work and to my blogs, because I'm starting a blog from my school, and the rules around you know, knowing the purpose for it, who's the audience, you know, what's the best platform. Like, there's so many tidbits of information that I'm just so excited that I've learned and I've shared. And I think, you know, going into this new chapter as a prep teacher coverage of music, and not feeling like I'm an expert in it, but being, you know, vulnerable to learn and grow alongside with everyone, I think is huge in my own growth and development. So this course has really pushed me out of some of my comfort zones, really polished up some of the things that I've been excited about, but also opened up the door to share that passion and continue to share that passion with others. And I'm really hoping that that's an opportunity to continue this work and to continue to support one another. I know I definitely want to do a segment on burnout, because I had my own little mini moment as I'm trying to navigate Dropbox and how do you get Voice Pro and all these things. But it's a learning journey, and I think that's the biggest thing, and not to judge yourselves, but to be excited. And the other big take home was behavior is a form of communication, and we need to try to figure out what that communication is, and it's our job to meet them in a calm state, not join their chaos. And one of the other, you know, big quotes that kind of resonated with me is, if you see the child different, you see a different child. And I think that's, you know, sometimes it's our own perspective shift, and I do believe that in a lot of things, awareness is always the first step. So thank you very much for sharing this journey with me, and allowing such a safe space for me to really, truly, authentically grow as an educator. So I hope today is good to you, and may the school year be wonderful for all of you. Thanks again. Bye.